Hi, you guys. Mr. Farron here. It's good to see you, although I don't really see you, but it's good to be seen by you. And I'll look forward to being with you this very Monday. I'm sorry we didn't get together this last Monday. I was in Arizona for the National Rural Schools Association. I'm on their board and their board of editors and things. So sorry I couldn't be with you. But I learned some things that make me think we ought to study something else. I went through your workbooks, your investigation handbooks and things, and found them fascinating, especially in the questions you've asked and things, and some of the things you've drawn and whatnot. And so, good work with that. Here's what we're going to do for this next Monday. We're going to keep reading about the magic treehouse, which isn't what it was called, and then what's going to happen. Remember, they found I don't know if it was a pterodactyl, but something like a pterodactyl that they're getting together with, and hope it doesn't eat him. We'll see if it's going to eat him or become a friend or what it's going to be. We don't know. But we'll start by reading that, of course. And then I'd like you to, those who want to, bring up an object of mystery, and there might be one or two we had to put off a week, so if you've been waiting to do one, bring it this Monday. And we're going to kind of slightly finish up looking at things rotting and looking at dumps a little bit. And we'll pay some more attention to the recycling process. And it will remind you that aluminum is one of those things we really ought to recycle, because the mining of aluminum brings a whole lot of environmental consequences, more than any other type of mining, evidently. And so we're going to look into that. And I've loved what you've suggested as things you want to study and learn more about when I read and looked at your books. And Brooklyn, I'm sorry I didn't get to see yours. I need to see your book. And I'm sorry I heard that you came Monday to class because you didn't get the message that I wasn't there, and I'm so sorry. I owe you and your parents, and I tell you, I'm sorry that we didn't get that message to you. And so I need to see the things you're interested in studying and learning about and investigating more. But among some of the ones that you guys had in your books, and there were a bunch of great ones. London had a list, 2 pages of really good questions. They all had good questions. Some of them are easier as a group for us to study than others. So if we don't pick yours up, it's not because it's not a great question. It's just some are a little easier for us at this age and in this size group to study. But the questions ranged from, and the things we might take up. How do I balance? That's a deep question, and I actually can help us understand that a little bit. We can explore that together. How do I balance? Another one was, how do airplanes fly? Well, I happen to be a pilot, and we might want to look into aerodynamics and how airplanes fly and stuff. When I was a kid, they used to always predict that in just a few years, everybody would have an aero car or airplane in their garage. Why didn't that happen? Why is it, for one thing, avgas, did you know that the gasoline that you can use in a regular airplane, a small plane, costs over $7 a gallon? That's part of why I don't have a plane right now. Although there are other ways to do this we're still working on. Who knows? So we might look into one of those 2 things. And I just think it might be interesting to I think another thing, how do my teeth fall out? Why do my teeth fall out? How do I grow out, and have some teeth leave, and then there's a blank space, and then another one comes in. We'll see if we can get to some of those. But I also, because I was on the Navajo reservation a few days ago, I thought that you might be interested. You'll let me know more. We're going to start looking just a bit into Navajo language and culture. And are you aware that during World War II, the Navajo were what we called code talkers? The Navajo code talkers were an important part of our winning World War II. They were able to devise a code based on the Navajo language that was unbreakable and was never broken. And it wasn't just using the Navajo language. They got to use their brains and their sense of humor and sense to come up with things. I remember one of them was a word they would use for the word Spain. So when we were talking about Spain or Spanish or Spain, people from Spain, they did the bed de swish. something like that I think it was, which means a sheep his pain. Now that doesn't really correlate with anything except if you say sheep's pain together fast, but you do it in a Navajo word, then they know in English too. They would say, oh, sheep's pain, Spain, sheep's pain, Spain. Well, see, there's others they did, and that are kind of fun and interesting. So I think you might want to look at how they played with words and know a little bit about how the Navajos live and work a little bit, and a little bit of Navajo words, and how they were involved in World War II. So I thought you might enjoy a little bit of that. And so you might want to start looking into Native American culture, but especially the Navajos and the Navajo code talkers. But we're going to do dumps, we're going to do rotting and how things rot, and why it produces methane gas, and what you do with that gas. And we're going to try to show ourselves now, finally, on a dump, a landfill, where they capture the methane gas and take it to the site and run generators and make electricity. So I think I can find a little video that'll show us some of that. And then we'll talk more about recycling. But then we'll introduce the Navajo and Navajo code talkers a little bit. So if there's anything you know about Navajo that would be fun or interesting, bring it. And so we'll see you soon. We'll be glad to take some objects of mystery and do them too, because they really make us think. Maybe I'll try to find an object of mystery for class next Monday. So we'll see you soon. Take care. Remember, this is not just a hat rack. It's not just for putting your hat on. This is where your brain is, and you got to use it to ask things and study things. And you guys are doing great. You're smarter than me by far. Take care.